Should we just cancel today? Vince suddenly asked. What are you talking about? We've driven all this way, I replied. He was strangely resistant about today's checkup. While I persuaded him, I wondered if his anxiety stemmed from seeing a new doctor. As we debated, Vince's name was called, and I guided him toward the examination room. Cassie, wait outside for me. Are you sure? Just take a break while I'm being examined. With that, I was pushed out of the room. I waited, and soon a nurse brought Vince back. Mrs. Morgan, please come this way. For some reason, only I was called by the nurse to a separate room. What's happening? I asked Dr. Crawford hesitantly. Go to the police immediately. What? I don't understand. My face was drained of all colors at his words, and I quickly gathered my courage to act. I am Cassandra Morgan, a 29-year-old illustrator. I have a husband, Vince, and an 8-year-old stepdaughter, Olivia. We aren't related by blood. This is my first marriage, but Vince has been divorced twice, and Olivia is from his first marriage. Are you sure this is okay? After all, I have a child and my situation. Vince hesitated. Don't worry about it, I replied with a smile. Vince is blind. He lost his sight protecting his ex-wife during an accident. I met him through my work. I create webcomics, and one day I received a request. Could you illustrate something based on this story? It was a novel written by Vince. I want people to understand what's still possible without sight. Plus, I have to work and raise Olivia. The story, full of emotion, detailed his life after losing vision. Moved by his words, I eagerly adapted it into a comic book. The author would really like to meet you. I got this message from the editor, and we arranged to meet at a cafe. With Olivia guiding him, Vince arrived. His gentle smile immediately drew me in. I want to be your eyes, to help you. I've wanted to meet you too. Your voice is so comforting. He told me he fell in love with my voice, and that's how we started dating. Hey Olivia, would you be okay with me being your mom? Yes. With Olivia's approval, we decided to get married. My parents were worried about Vince's blindness and his child from a previous marriage, but they kindly supported me. We'll support whatever decision you make. Remember, you can always count on us. They stood by me, promising to always be there for me, giving me confidence to begin this marriage. Olivia, dinner's ready. Thank you, Mom, Olivia replied politely to me. We've been living together since I started dating Vince, but she hasn't opened up to me yet. I thought it can't be helped. It's not easy to instantly accept a woman, once a stranger, as a mother. I hoped she'd come to accept me in time. Wow, that smells good. Just as Olivia was about to speak, Vince walked in, guided by the wall. Startled, she flinched. Vince, are you okay? The table is this way. I was concerned about Olivia, but I needed to assist Vince. I'm off. Olivia then left for elementary school. By the time I turned around, she was gone, and I could only hear the door closing. Sighing, I remained thoughtful. Something wrong? Sorry, I was just thinking about how hard it's been to get closer to Olivia. Vince looked a bit troubled after hearing my words. Seeing that, I quickly tried to explain myself. I explained that I understood it wouldn't be easy for her to accept me immediately and believed that it would surely be resolved over time. Thanks for caring. Maybe Olivia is still wary me becoming her new mother. Julie Kelly, Vince's ex-wife and Olivia's real mother, left them behind when she found out Vince was blind. Olivia was abandoned by her real mother. Olivia might be harboring such thoughts and is likely wary of me as I try to become her new mother. That's what Vince suspected. Sorry, but I can only ask for your patience. Of course, that's my intention from the start. Don't worry. I smiled at Vince's words even though I knew he couldn't see it. Thank you, he said with a smile in return. Shall we have breakfast? Sounds good. Let's eat well and get ready for work. We both worked from home, but we had separate offices. This way, we kept to our own schedules. Cassie, are you going to be cooped up in your room all day? Yeah, I plan to. I'll only come out for meals. Got it. Just don't overdo it. I nodded with a smile at his words and headed to my home office. I wondered what kind of work Vince was doing. We made it a point not to interfere with each other during work hours. Therefore, I didn't know what Vince did during his work time. He used to write books using Braille, but I haven't heard anything about that lately. Well, my earnings were enough for us to live on, so it wasn't a problem. I thought he must have had struggles I couldn't even imagine. I thought it was enough just to watch over him. With that thought, I decided to focus on my work. A few days later, I drove Vince to a specialty clinic that takes several hours to reach. Cassie, I know your schedule is packed, but thank you for this. Don't worry about it. I want to be here for you. I felt uneasy as we drive. Logically, a medical center closer to our home would be more convenient. Yet Vince insisted on this particular clinic. There's a childhood friend of mine working here as a doctor who understands my condition perfectly. Vince reconnected with this friend during his accident when he was brought to this hospital. She's been supportive since then, even after Julie abandoned him and Olivia. My hands tightened on the steering wheel as he explained. The doctor is a woman? Yes. I had always pictured this childhood friend as a man. Learning she was female stirred unexpected jealousy in me. Even though it's just a medical relationship, the fact that he traveled hours to see a female childhood friend bothered me. What kind of person is she? She's compassionate. Gets along well with her husband. Hearing she was married eased my tension. Married professionals generally maintain proper boundaries. We entered the clinic together, my arm linked with his. Is this our first meeting? I'm Dr. Natalie Parker, Vince's attending physician. Dr. Parker introduced herself with a warm smile. She was beautiful and seemed genuinely kind. Being a wife can be challenging, and adapting to a new lifestyle can be exhausting. I'm available if you ever need to talk. I felt embarrassed for my earlier jealousy. She seemed to be a trustworthy person. Shall we exchange contact information? When she suggested this, I agreed. Looking back, that was probably my first mistake. Oh, a message from Dr. Parker. That night, my phone lit up with her text. Are you and Vince truly doing well? Vince has challenges. Stay strong. What is this? The message felt odd, not what I expected from the doctor I'd met. I showed it to Vince without thinking. She's always been overprotective, like a big sister. That's why she sent such a message. According to Vince, she's always acted like he's her responsibility. She was concerned when he remarried, especially after Julie left. That might explain her coolness toward me. If she sees we're happy, she'll probably relax. Then I'll make sure we become the happiest couple around. I said with a laugh. That's right, he chuckled. Olivia watched us, seeming to want to say something. Olivia, is something wrong? Nothing. When I asked her, she glanced at Vince and shook her head. I'm going to bed early. She then went to her room. I wish Olivia would smile more, I overheard Vince mutter. I turned to him, and strangely, Vince turned his head toward me. This gave me an odd feeling. Can you tell Olivia's expression? We're family after all. I can tell by her voice, he said, smiling. It made sense. After 8 years, he might sense her mood from her voice. But why did he respond to my silent movement? Was it a coincidence? Something wrong, Cassie? No, nothing. Vince asked as he somehow sensed my unease. But I simply shook my head. I'm probably overthinking this, was what I told myself. Well, Cassie. On our day off, surprisingly, Olivia initiated a conversation. My heart leaped with hope, but I kept my expression casual so she wouldn't notice my excitement. What's up? This. Dad isn't around after all. She handed me what looked like an art project from school. Hidden within the colorful drawing were numbers carefully disguised in the pattern. Please make sure Dad doesn't see this. She left hurriedly. I heard the front door close. She must have gone to a friend's house as mentioned earlier. What's this? Dr. Parker, and a phone number. As I studied the hidden numbers in the artwork, Vince called out to me. Cassie, has Olivia already left? I quickly slipped the drawing into my pocket, my pulse racing. Yes, she's already gone. She seemed in a hurry. Isn't that more childlike? I hope she can be that way naturally someday. That would be wonderful. I forced a chuckle. He didn't appear to notice what I'd hidden. What are you doing up, Vince? Aren't you off today? Typically, Vince rests until nearly noon on his days off. His early appearance surprised me. I was thinking, if you're not too busy, maybe we could go for a walk together. Vince invited me with a gentle smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. That sounds lovely. Some fresh air would be nice. You work so hard, Cassie. Just don't push yourself too much. He probably thought my work exhausted me. But it's actually Dr. Parker's constant messages that drained me. Don't trouble Vince. Her messages have been relentless since we met. It's fine. We're supporting each other. At first, I responded, but as the messages became daily, I've started ignoring them. It's been a while since we went for a walk, hasn't it? Yes, it has. During our walk, I memorized the number Olivia had hidden in her artwork and disposed of the paper, hoping I'd never need to use it. A few days later, it was time for Vince's regular checkup, and I drove him to the usual specialty clinic hours away. Isn't Dr. Parker off today? Yes, she's dealing with that contagious illness that's spreading. The difference this time was that Dr. Parker was absent. Other qualified doctors were available, so we could still be seen. I was relieved our long journey wasn't wasted, but Vince seemed to feel differently. If she's not here, maybe we should cancel today. What? His sudden suggestion caught me off guard, and I turned to him. What are you talking about? It's just a routine checkup. We need to go through with it. We've driven all this way. Let's make the most of it. Hearing that, Vince's face darkened with displeasure. I firmly guided him to sit in the waiting room. Can't we just skip today's appointment? What are you saying? We're already here. Just accept it. He seemed unusually resistant about the checkup. While persuading him, I wondered if seeing a new doctor made him nervous. Then Vince's name was called, and I helped him toward the examination room. Cassie, wait outside for me. Are you sure? Just rest while I'm being examined. With that, I was pushed out of the examination room. As I waited, Vince soon returned with a nurse. Mrs. Morgan, please come this way. For some reason, I alone was called by the nurse and led to a separate room. Is something wrong? In the private room, I cautiously asked the doctor, go to the police immediately. If you don't, you'll end up being manipulated and potentially harmed. I felt my face was drained of all colors at his words. Without hesitation, I gathered my courage to act. After a while, Vince called my phone. Cassie, where the hell did you go? Me? I'm at the police station now with Olivia and Julie. Vince, stunned by my words, fell silent for a moment. Why? He whispered faintly. Dr. Crawford told me the truth about you. The person who revealed everything was Dr. Ethan Crawford. Vince can see. What are you saying? And he's not the compassionate person you believe him to be. Dr. Crawford explained everything. His words left me reeling in disbelief. I know this is difficult to accept, but haven't you noticed anything suspicious yourself? As he spoke, I recalled Vince's recent behavior. He responded instantly to my movements, despite supposedly being blind. He navigated our home flawlessly and dressed himself perfectly. Most troubling was his relationship with Olivia. She always seemed aware of his gaze, and whenever I spoke with her, Vince quickly interrupted. It was as if he constantly monitored her. These were definitely concerning patterns. He's presenting you with a false identity. He's conspiring with Dr. Parker to deceive you. Indeed, if Vince's blindness were fabricated, Dr. Parker must know. She's probably been helping him because of their connection. Natalie and Vince are having an affair. What? Apparently, Natalie assisted Vince not just as childhood friends, but as lovers. I learned their affair began around Julie's time, and she had discovered it. Being a nurse, Julie had consulted with Dr. Crawford about her suspicions. Just as she prepared to confront them, she and Vince had an accident. This revelation sent chills down my spine. I hate suggesting this, but I believe Vince was involved in causing that accident, he stated firmly. Afterward, she fled to her hometown, and we lost contact. I understand Olivia was taken in by Vince. Yes, she lives with us now. Vince likely kept Olivia to leverage child support and determine how much she knows. He probably checked on you during our conversation for that reason. Olivia must have sensed the danger, which explained her distance from you and attempts to escape him. This is incredible, but certain parts make sense. I wish we could contact Julie, but her contact information seems to have changed. His words reminded me of the number hidden in Olivia's artwork. Actually, Olivia gave me a phone number. I decided to call it to discover the truth. As expected, Julie answered. When I told Vince this, he went silent. Ignoring him, I continued the conversation. It seems she was under surveillance from your parents. Despite this, she wanted to maintain contact with Olivia, so she gave her a number for a phone you weren't aware of. Olivia doesn't have a smartphone, and with you monitoring the landline, she couldn't use that. I was likely her only communication option. That's why Olivia gave me the number hidden in her artwork. Being a nurse, Julie is naturally observant. She found a moment when your parents' surveillance weakened and escaped. What the hell are you doing? Vince's voice was filled with rage I'd never heard before. His true character was finally emerging. I immediately contacted Olivia's school, and now we're all at the police station. They are both having an emotional reunion right in front of me. Seeing them together brings tears to my eyes. Stop interfering in my life. What's interfering about this? I did what any compassionate human would do. Thank you so much, Cassie. Both Julie and Olivia expressed their gratitude through tears. What overwhelmed me then was burning anger. Anger at the selfish separation of mother and daughter, at his deception for personal gain, and that the story which had moved me so deeply was built on lies. This realization filled me with such rage and shock that I felt numb. Julie has evidence of your parents' surveillance, and with Dr. Crawford's medical report, we can prove the disability benefits you've been collecting are fraudulent. Why would you do this? Weren't we happy together? Indeed, I had found joy in our life together. Above all, I married Vince because I loved him. Yes, but you were mocking me behind my back, weren't you? Vince fell silent again. Before going to the police, I stopped by our house and checked your office. I thought I might find evidence of your affair. Instead, I discovered you weren't working at all, but conspiring with Natalie to deceive me. I saw your messages describing me as gullible and naive, easy to manipulate. Why choose someone like me? For the money. I was selected because, as a successful illustrator, I had substantial income. You thought it was easy to influence me with your fabricated story. You really underestimated me, didn't you? It couldn't be helped, he said coldly. What couldn't be helped? I wondered. He continued without prompting. I really didn't want to resort to this, but I desperately needed money. Besides, Natalie is the only one I truly love. You expect me to believe that? You even planned to get rid of me. What? You knew that too? Yes. Beyond your messages with Natalie, you had arrangements to get rid of me. Vince, who had grown accustomed to luxury by taking alimony from his first wife, couldn't abandon that lifestyle and sought a new income source. That was me. As an illustrator working from home with steady earnings, I was easy for Vince to monitor. You planned to make my death look accidental once you get tired of me. Isn't that right? That was just a joke between Natalie and me. We weren't serious at all. It didn't sound like a joke. That's why we all went to the police. I reported the fraud by you and Natalie, fearing for my safety. Olivia is here for protection, and Julie is filing charges about her confinement and the lies you spread about her. It's over for you. Police officers are heading to your place now. Damn it, Vince muttered in panic. It's useless to run. I heard Dr. Crawford's voice, indicating Vince's failed escape attempt. Looks like it's over. I hung up after hearing police voices in the background. They were likely also heading to Natalie's home and to Vince's parents. Everything's okay now, I reassured Olivia. Thank you for helping me see my mom, she replied with the first genuine smile I'd ever seen from her. Witnessing that smile filled my heart with unexpected joy. Later, I learned that Olivia and Julie had returned to Julie's parents' home. Their house is a plane ride away, making it nearly impossible for Vince to reach them. Leave that man to me. I'll ensure he faces the consequences of his actions. My reassurance seemed to give them peace of mind. They left with hopeful smiles. Meanwhile, Vince remained in police custody. The plot to harm me hadn't been executed yet, resulting in limited evidence on that front. However, the fraudulent disability benefits and Julie's situation were deemed highly malicious, hence Vince received a prison sentence. Today, I met with Dr. Crawford to discuss Vince's case. When I shared the news, he smiled with visible relief. Is that so? That's a relief to hear. What about Natalie? She's been charged with falsifying medical records. He explained Natalie's current situation. She's been stripped of her medical license because of this incident and dismissed from the clinic. Investigators discovered her inappropriate relationships with multiple patients and medical supplies taken without authorization, leading to numerous claims against her. Her husband learned everything and filed for divorce immediately. Well, she brought it upon herself. Cassie, you finalized your divorce as well, correct? Yes, of course. My divorce from Vince is complete. A lawyer handled the communication, and I've blocked all contact. Thanks to that, I separated from him without complications. I'm truly glad we could help you, he said with a warm smile. He apparently regretted not being able to help Julie previously. When he saw me with Vince, he was determined to help this time, working discreetly behind the scenes. There was no concrete evidence of Natalie and Vince's conspiracy, so I waited for the right moment to expose the truth about his vision. To prove Vince's deception, I needed to examine him personally. Natalie always handled his appointments and prevented other doctors from seeing him. I was waiting for the right opportunity, and finally, it arrived. No matter how convincing his act was, he couldn't fool a medical examination. He explained with the satisfaction of someone who'd solved a complex puzzle. I'm incredibly grateful. If you hadn't revealed the truth that day, I might not be alive now, I said, expressing my profound thanks. Thank you for trusting me, he smiled. Some time had passed. I received a message from Natalie on my phone. I'd forgotten to block her number. Dozens of calls and messages came. My life is completely ruined because of you, she claimed. You tried to take someone's life first. You have no right to complain. With that thought, I didn't respond and simply blocked the number. I'm currently staying at my parents' house in Chicago. Vince most likely doesn't know this location, so I should be safe for now. Cassie, dinner's almost ready. How's your work coming along? Thanks, Mom. I just reached a good stopping point. I smiled and joined my mother. Later, a story made headlines in the art community. It concerned a popular illustrator involved in a fraud case. My webcomic had gained significant popularity and was slated for a TV adaptation. However, when it was revealed that the inspiring story behind it was fabricated, the adaptation plans were canceled. As the creator, I faced some criticism, but the publishing company and medical community defended me, positioning me as another victim of deception. When Vince is released, he'll find no place to return to. He betrayed everyone around him. Now he must face those consequences. Years later, I had moved out of my parents' home, but I stopped by one day to help with some errands. The doorbell then rang unexpectedly. Who is it? It's been a while, Cassie. I've come to take you back. Standing there was Vince, no longer pretending to be blind. I felt a rush of relief that I checked the security monitor before opening the door. Without invitation, he blabbered on about his situation. He'd been imprisoned over Julie's case, had borrowed heavily to repay the disability benefits, and his parents had relocated after being ostracized by neighbors. You're all I have left, Cassie. Let's build a life together again. No thanks. I rejected his plea without hesitation. He looked hurt. His victim mentality infuriated me. This is all your fault. Don't you think you should take responsibility? I don't think so. I'm not responsible for any of this. These are the consequences of your own actions. Despite my firm rejection, Vince persisted in pursuing me. Exasperated, I reached for my phone to call the police. What do you think you're doing? Someone called out to him. He spun around in surprise. You, the doctor? There stood Ethan with a stern expression, alongside my parents. Have you come to harass her? That's truly pathetic. Shut up. If you hadn't interfered in the first place, I only did what was right, both as a physician and as a human being. Vince glared while Ethan responded firmly but calmly. Watching this confrontation, I called the police. Your selfishness has hurt numerous people. If anyone should take responsibility, it's you. Damn it. Vince lunged at Ethan, but my father intercepted him. With martial arts experience from his youth, and Vince being weakened from years of pretending blindness, Dad easily restrained him. Damn it. Let go, Vince yelled, but Dad held him firmly until the police arrived and took him away. Cassie, are you okay? Yes, thank you. I answered Ethan with a smile after Vince was gone. He looked visibly relieved. He rushed over the moment he saw Vince on the monitor, my mother explained. I feel confident leaving her with you, my father added. My parents watched us with knowing smiles. Yes, we're engaged now. After the incident with Vince, we found we shared much in common, and following his confession, we began dating. I'll take good care of her, he promised with a nod. We trust you, my parents agreed. Now that we've finished loading everything, let's celebrate at our new place. Actually, I had come to help my parents move. It was a precaution against Vince, though slightly late. Well, I got to see my fiance's protective side, and next time Vince comes, he'll find nobody here. Let's go. Right. As I nodded, he offered his hand, which I took with a smile. Some time has passed, and today is my second wedding. Cassie, you look beautiful. Thank you, Olivia. Olivia and Julie came especially for the ceremony and are celebrating with us. Though I couldn't become her mother, seeing her genuine smile is enough. Enjoy today. Congratulations on your marriage to Ethan. I respond to her wishes with a heartfelt smile of my own.